Hi, I'm hoping that you are watching me live, but if you're not, and you have questions or comments, just comment whenever you watch this recording. I'm gonna move the camera a little bit. My name is Angel Shaver. I am a Stampin' Up independent demonstrator from Kansas, and we are doing this Stampin' Up party for Tiffany. And I really want to know how you know Tiffany, and please just help Tiffany out, help her meet her goal. But there is no pressure to buy anything ever. We're just going to have fun this week and answer questions and show different products and samples. And in fact, right now, I'm looking, sorry, I got distracted. Trying to find myself live online and I can't. Okay, I don't know what that's about, but maybe it's live on my business Facebook page, and it won't go live until after or it won't go on the event page till after I'm done. I don't know. Give me a second and I will see what I can find out. Yes, that's where I am, so let me tell Tiffany. And then I will fix this. Okay. This is crazy. I'm sorry, you guys. Maybe someday I will figure this all out. Maybe not. It's a nice thought to pretend that I'm going to have technology under control one of these days, but I really doubt it. It keeps changing so fast. There is no way to keep up. There. I told them where I'm at now to get back to the business page so I can actually see it when that is happening. That'll be good. Okay. Go pull it down just so I could see if there were any comments, and then we'll get started. Alright, well, let's still do it. 2 little clicks. Okay, I'm back. So the exciting thing is I am now going to make a card. And if you can watch this live, great. If you watch the recording, that's also great. Just send me any questions you have about anything. I can't promise that I will see them live while I'm actually making the card, but I will check on them as soon as we're done. So this is a card we're going to make today. I had made this earlier for a color challenge, and these are not the colors I typically use with the sunflower stamp from the Painted Harvest stamp set. But I used the Tangerine Twist and the Fresh Fig and the Always Artichoke. And so what I've pulled out to use tonight is the Always Artichoke for the leaves, because I just really thought that looked almost as good or better than the garden green that I usually use. And then I pulled out the colors I generally use for the sunflowers. It's Cajun Craze and Crushed Curry. And then I have a couple of colors that are left out for the center of the sunflower. I have Fresh Fig, which is what I used earlier today. And what I might decide to use, just because we are using a Fresh Fig card base. And I, for sure, like the way it brings everything together. But I also pulled out chocolate chip because I've always tended to use a brown for the center of the flower. And so we'll just see what I'm feeling like when we get there. But I'm going to turn the camera down so that you are able to see my work table. Sorry, I had to shut off a pop-up. And it keeps telling me things like it's disappearing or it's gone. Okay, so we'll hope that you can see this. I do have it up on my laptop, and it lets me see, but it's a small delay, so I may not always notice that we're not seeing the same thing. This is the card base that we're going to use today. This is actually all the paper we're going to need. 2 pieces of Very Vanilla cut at 5 1/4 inches by 4, one for the front of the card, one for the inside of the card. And then this is the card base. It's cut what we call hamburger style, which is where you take a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper and you cut it down the middle to make it 5.5 by 4 1/4. No. 5.5 by 8.5, so that when you fold it, you end up with 5.5 and 4 1/4. So I'm going to just fold it in half, and then take my bone folder and give the fold a very nice crease. I'll set the bone folder aside. I'm actually going to set the card base aside for now, because we are just going to work with the 2 pieces of Very Vanilla. And first thing I'm going to do, make sure that I know where my Stampin' Scrub is and the cleaner so I can clean as I go, is I am going to open up the Painted Harvest stamp set, and we're going to do the flower first. And so I always try to lay the photopolymer stamps upside down, I just pick them up because that will keep them straight and not wiggly at all. And then for the bottom layer, we are going to use the Cajun Craze. And I just wanted to show you, remind you, those of you who know, like those of you who don't know how to open one of the Stampin' Up ink pads. You find the 3 little dots, and then you slide it back. When it gets loose, you flip it, and then slide it in. That's how you open the Stampin' Up ink pads. And then I'm going to take the flower and just tap, tap, tap. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to do 1 flower in the corner, because this is what I plan to use for the inside of the card. And so I just, oh, that didn't stamp very well. Good news about photopolymer is that these are see-through. And so I ink it up, and I kind of look at where it maybe was and try again. I'm not happy with it, and the other good news is every piece of paper has 2 sides. So you just flip it over and try again. That is better. And I will, oh, I was getting ahead of myself. Closing up my Cajun Craze before I was ready. I will set that inside of the card aside for now. I can see that this stamp just needs cleaned off a little bit. So I'm going to spray on my Stampin' Scrub and just clean up my stamp. And then we're going to start stamping the other side. And I think that I am going to start by stamping the base of the flowers on the front with the crushed curry. So they're kind of going to be opposite of each other. So here we go. One there, but we're going to practice masking technique here after a bit. Not sure if you can see what I'm doing, so I will raise the camera just a smidgen. And I'm going to do it on this side over here. And then I'm going to get on my sticky notes because we are going to mask. And what that means is that I'm going to cover up the parts of the page that I want to be sure that I don't get ink on here in a minute. And then we're going to stamp the third flower on the inside. Right there. And then we have our places that have been masked off. Not sure I'm happy with that masking. Perhaps I will try that one more time. because I needed to overlap just a little because I don't want any blank space. So I'm looking for how this was. I'm going to line it up. There we have the masked version. And I will clean up that stamp and get it put away and get out the second part of our flower. I absolutely love this stamp set. I think that the watercolor images are just so delicate, and you can do some pretty amazing things depending on the colors that you choose to use. So I'm going to get out the second of our flower stamps. And I'm going to pull out the interior of the card because that's the one I will need to put the crushed curry, one of these. Okay. Close that up because I think I'm done with the crushed curry for right now. Here is the interior, and no two cards will ever look alike with their hand stamped. That is the beauty of them, I think. Then I'm going to take the Cajun Craze and we're going to use it on the card front. Try to line that up a little bit. And do it over here on this side, and then we're going to mask again. And grab my sticky notes. Clean up the stamp, and we will do the leaves. Better go ahead and get this picked up. There, more than once have I stuck my hand, stuck a piece of paper, the card itself, something in an open stamp pad. So I always try to clean things up as I go. I'm also really terrible about losing my stamps if I don't put them back right when I need to. Okay, I'm trying to think if I remember right. The leaves are also two-step stamps, but I'm only going to use one part of that this time around. That's the beauty of the two-step stamps. You can use them as two-step stamp like we did with the sunflowers to give it dimension and different colors, or you can choose to use either one of the two-step stamps by itself. and it adds just a different look to your card. I'm going to pull out the Always Artichoke. Trying to decide where I need to put my masks. Okay, we'll put it right there. Well, actually, I'll try to curve it a little bit. And right there. Okay. Don't know if you can see it, so I'm going to move it up here. And then we're going to stamp right like this. And when we pull off the mask, you can see that it looks like the leaves are kind of hiding behind the flowers. And then I know we want one down here at the bottom, so I will put the sticky notes there to mask it again. And stamp the leaves. We want it down here as well. Probably actually stamp off the page somewhat here. With my mask, because I do want to hide some of those white, curry petals. And then the last one we will do up here. And then we're going to switch leaves to the more fern-looking leaf. Put that one right there. Okay, now gonna clean up that leaf and put it away. And then we will get out the fern looking leaf and take care of that one. There it is. Same thing, we're just going to mask the same kind of way so that we don't get it on the flowers themselves. And this, we're going to use the stamp off technique. So I stamp once, and then it will be a lighter color when I stamp it on the card. Want to do that every time. We'll mask off the area, and then we will stamp off, so that our fern is getting a little lighter. That did not work out the way I wanted it to. So I will try it again. That's better. still isn't perfect, but, and then we're going to stamp off down here. Make sure that I'm just getting the leaves covered, or the petals covered up. And I forgot on my last card, I didn't put a fern there because I put the sentiment there. That's okay. We will just mix things up a little bit and put a different sentiment in a different place. It all works out great. That's the benefit of being the artist. You can make it however you want. Alright, and there we have the leaves. So I will go ahead and close up the artichoke color. And put that leaf away. And then I'm getting out the center of the flower. And I'm trying to decide which color am I going to use. Chocolate chip or fresh fig? I think I'll put chocolate chip on the ends. Well, why don't I stamp them both on the mat, on the graph paper, and we'll just see which one I like better. I'm thinking I am feeling fresh fig. Yeah, I'm feeling fresh fig. So let me close up the chocolate chip. And there we go. Just ink up fresh fig. Oh, I gotta clean off that because I have a lot of extra ink on my block. Okay, ink up the fresh fig, and then perfect for the center of the card. Then I will get out, clean it up. I'm not sure why, but a lot of the fresh fig is going on the clear block in places we don't want to leave it on the card. I don't always see exactly where it's supposed to go, so I'll just double stamp it, and that works. And then we'll do that one. And one more. Alright. Clean that up. Put it away. Figure out which sentiment we want to use. I think plan to use the I am thankful for you sentiment on this card. And I know exactly where I think that it should go. So I'm going to lay it down and pick it up with my block so that it is straight. And then I'm going to do the sentiment in the fresh fig. And I'm going to put it right here. There. Gorgeous. I'll clean up my stamps and get my stamps and ink put away. And then we will put the card together. So I'm taking the card base, and this will go on the inside of the card. So I'm going to put the glue on the back. See, nobody except those of us who have watched this video will ever know that there's a sunflower hiding back there. Attach it to the inside of the card. And then I will put some Tombow multi-purpose glue on the card front and put it on the front of the card. And then I added a little extra bling on the other card, and so I think I will do that with this one as well. This is called Wink of Stella, and it's amazing. It adds just a little sparkle and shine. So I'll put it right here on the inside of the centers of the flowers, and it just gives it sparkle. Okay, here we have the card. And here's the one I did earlier today. Colors are just a little different. So which do you prefer? Do you prefer the colors and the sentiment of card A from earlier today or card B? I like them both. Actually, that's the thing. It's like having a favorite child. How do you know which one you like better? They're both unique and wonderful in their own way. So there we have it. That is from the Painted Autumn Suite. There's a Painted Harvest stamps. And this is Fresh Fig, which is one of the brand new in colors. So if you are looking for things to go with it, you will look up Fresh Fig in the Painted Autumn Suite. And if you have any questions, I will still be around to answer those questions for a few more minutes.